Hello, my fellow human beings. I'm at a little lake right now. Can't show the people over there, but it's pretty. Trying to paint the lake. It's not really good, but it gives me some kind of peace, you know. Got my color stuff here. I think I had the worst day since months. Like, really. I've not, like, how do I explain this? It's not been bad in particular, except that my tire exploded, my bike tire, and I gotta walk home over an hour later, and that a bird shit on me from this tree. But there's one thing you guys need to know. This world has an energy frequency, and for long it's been like, you know, the generations before us, like I'm Gen Z, and the generation before us for hundreds and hundreds of years have been very, especially the last 200 years, are very towards progress, better, faster, bigger. Work, grow, better, bigger, everything. Greed has been very present, and I feel like something's shifting, and I've talked to people that know about this more, are more sensitive to this stuff, because I'm a HSP, which is highly sensitive person. I got the diagnosis, I don't know, when I was a child, cause I was weird. I was overwhelmed with the smallest stuff. Nowadays I know how to handle it, kind of, but it took years and years of feeling odd, feeling like I'm not fitting in, feeling overwhelmed. And I'm still overwhelmed so often. And feeling like being a highly sensitive person in a society that is very fast and very loud, I often felt so incredibly alone. Like lonely in the sense of, because you can be alone and it can be a great feeling, and I am alone a lot of times. Like 90% of my leisure time I'm alone, and it feels good, because mostly but in my life I felt so often so lonely, and I know that everybody, each and every one of you, feels very lonely very often, or has been feeling very lonely very often, even in a room full of people. Even when you're surrounded by people who are supposed to love you, it's just so lonely. It's eating you out from the inside. It's like this feeling of isolation is amazingly painful, and I know that very well. And I still think it's one of the most important emotions, because loneliness makes you realize that in this world there is not much that matters. If you're lonely, you can try to fill holes with money, with substances like substance abuse, with any kind of stuff, with addictions of any kind. Like, an addiction doesn't have to be like a drug addiction, but it's just some kind of addiction. And so everybody tries to fill this hole of loneliness in a different way. And that's why it's the most important, like one of the most important emotions, I believe. Because it gives you room to, maybe you realize it without being addicted to something. Maybe you realize that money doesn't make you happy without like first chasing that. But I think we all try to fill a hole with something of some sort that maybe did it for a few seconds but not further. For example, overeating has been like something I did a lot, and that I thought would fill this void. Or sometimes you buy stuff, or I used to buy stuff that I didn't need just because I thought it would make me happy. And not saying it will make me happy, but fill that void, fill that hole in you, that lonely hole in you. Some people had a harder path on discovering that, for example, substance abuse and addiction comes also from a place of loneliness, and that it's a hard, like once you're addicted, it's a journey to stop, a hard journey. And I admire people who make it out of like real addiction. I'm not saying that addiction of any kinds, like shopping addiction, isn't as bad, but I think substance addiction is also tough because it's mixed with the body, like it's biology and psychology, and with, for example, shopping addictions, it's like psychology. So admire everybody who comes out of addiction. I myself came out of dark places where I tried not very productive stuff to fill that void, and there are still times where I catch myself thinking about buying stuff to make me happy, or catch myself overeating because I feel lonely, like I don't belong. And I just wanted to let you know, I think loneliness is the most common emotion we have. I know nobody who never felt lonely. And why is it the most important emotion? It's the most important emotion because it gives you a room to wake up, to realize what is the truth behind it. And it takes a lot of work, a lot of pain, a lot of tears, like it's a lot. What's behind this feeling of incredible loneliness? And how can I turn loneliness in being alone? And maybe alone, like alone is all one. Alone with you, like Ed and L, all in one. And that's a term that's used very widely in spiritual practices, that all is one in you, like you're one with yourself, and then you're alone, and that's a beautiful feeling, that's a powerful feeling. Can you turn loneliness into being alone? You mastered it. And I don't think you can just stop being lonely. I think it's something that walks with you through life, and the more you can see it and say, okay, loneliness is this thing that I think has power over me, and I think nobody understands, and I'm a little like fragment, and nobody cares and nobody understands. And once you realize that everybody has this deep feeling of loneliness, it maybe gives you some peace, because you know it's not you, you're not wrong, everybody feels that at times. And it's on you to see where it comes from. Does it come from family issues? Does it come because you surround yourself with people that make you feel that way? And for me, it was really that I stopped being around people that made me feel lonely, and the more I spent time alone, like without my phone, without monetizing and showing what I was doing to people, that I realized I do enjoy my own company. And maybe like it's me and I, there's two versions of me. I love me. There's the I and there's the me. I want to make myself happy. It's I and myself. And it's important when you feel that feeling of loneliness that you say, I am lonely and I want to make me feel better. Then you come into the acting position when you realize there's like those two parts in you. There's this German philosopher, I think I already mentioned it in another video, that says, in meiner Brust schlagen zwei Herzen, which means in my chest there are two beating hearts. It's the me and the I. It's yin and yang, you know. And once you realize you have the power to figure this out and to see if there's actually like something in you that wants to be seen, that was making you feel lonely, then maybe it's easier to approach this topic, because you see, it's me and I know there's this thing, ooh, it's just me, myself and I, but there's really like some truth to it if you look at it. You're a soul, but your soul is not only in your consciousness, it's also higher. You have your consciousness and your under consciousness, and you can get lost very, very easily in depression, in loneliness. And I'm telling you that because I've been depressed for quite a bit, and I had to find my way out there with like support and no support. But it was like really this realization that it's not just you, it's me and I. Like, you have to drag yourself out there. And there's this guy, like it's a German, very old German story, Münchhausen. He was like a liar and he was like a trickster. And there's this story where he tells a story. I was riding through like very muddy areas, and then there was you know, that sand that I don't know what it's called, but you sink in. And he was with his horse, and his horse was already like deep in. And then he grabbed the horse's hair and dragged the horse, and with the horse himself, out of the mud. And every time I feel like sad and complain shit about my mom, or I feel helpless, she's like, oh, you gotta do the Münchhausen move. There's also Münchhausen syndrome, but that's something different. But like, you need to drag yourself out of the mud, because nobody else will, because nobody knows what is in you that's like screaming for this void to be filled. What's making the void? And it can be so devastating at times, and it's still sometimes I'm so incredibly lonely that I just could start crying and never stop. And today was definitely one of those days. But maybe this video is also a reminder for me that it's me and I'm never lonely. I'm alone, if something, all in one. Because all in one, I combine all that there is. I combine the problem and I combine the solution, and it's in me, and I have to figure out where it is. Sit in silence, listen to music, maybe the keys there. Go outside and listen to the birds. Oh my gosh, that's such a beautiful bird. Yes, I hear you, darling. The birds are really something that help me. And especially if you're also HSP as me, like a highly sensitive person, what helps me is like I tend to flee people, because maybe I'm gonna talk about highly sensitive people in another video. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. But like as a highly sensitive person, you pick up negative stuff and you pick up the negative emotions of other people, and you at one point can differ between your emotions and their emotions, and therefore it's possible, or it's usual that as a highly sensitive person you have a bad time in crowds and when you're with certain people. So I tend to shun people, like I tend to isolate myself, but this is a reminder to still expose yourself and go out and all of that stuff. Just, yeah, that's important. But don't force yourself to be with people that make you feel sad. Allow yourself to be brave, and then through that build a circle where there are people you feel okay with. Yeah, and always keep swimming, keep swinging. Like, that's the only thing I can tell you. Depression can't hit a moving target, they always say, and it's true to some extent. Like, it's often written under those like running videos, but I hate running. Running is not for me, just not for me. But moving means that you're on the road and on the search for something. You don't need to do sports, even though it's good for your physical health. I need to get more into sports, but just do something. Go out of the house in some way, and you'll find the answer on the road, and the universe will give you an answer and give you signs. You just gotta be open to it, and like, don't fixate on it, but be open to receive help and answers. And loneliness is a common feeling, and yeah, you're not alone. You gotta figure out how to turn the loneliness into the being alone, and realize that your own company is the only thing you're always granted. You're granted two things in life, and that is to die and like being alone. You're granted your own companion and death. Those two things you're granted, and you gotta take that and do with it what you want to do. But I'm just saying that knowing that the only thing I'm never gonna be able to lose is myself makes it easier to invest in the relationship with yourself. And you gotta realize it. Like, you can tell yourself, okay, yeah, the only thing I'm never gonna lose is myself. But you need to realize it. You need to be lonely to realize it. And that you should invest more into the relationship with yourself. So I felt 2 drops, and I'm here with my bike, and my bike's wheel is like, I drove over a screw, and it's like basically fucked now. I have to walk for over an hour, which is not good, because I wanted to, like, neighbors of mine have I don't know what you call it. We call it Gnadenhof, but it's like people, like horses and like animals, they were supposed to be slaughtered because they don't have any use to the industrial society anymore, and they just they let them live. They feed them through until they're dropping dead from old age. And I wanted to go there and help them, but I think I won't make it, cause yeah, sometimes life gives you lemon, and you just gotta realize that, I don't know, I don't like the saying, if life gives you lemon, make lemonade. No, if life gives you lemon, I don't know, see it as a present. Say, nice, I got lemons. And keep swimming, keep walking, collect those lemons, and someday you have enough to make a cake or something. I don't know. If you like cake, and if you don't like cake, one day you'll have enough to, I don't know, sell them. Keep swimming. Like, I could have cried multiple times today because just everything went downhill, and maybe at one point in my life I would have just cried, and I think crying is great. Search for a quiet spot and like cry your heart out. It's a really good form of relief. Do it, cry. But I just didn't want to cry in public because it didn't feel safe, so it just kept going. And now I drew some thing and talked to you guys, and I feel much better, you know. Keep swimming. Keep swimming. Okay, lots of love. You're beautiful. You're amazing. You're not lonely. You're alone. And that's amazing because it's all in one. And we can, sure as hell, I would love to be alone together. And we could also be lonely together. But I think it's more beautiful to be alone together. So, give yourself some love today. Thank yourself for bringing you this far. And thank yourself for the great company you are. Yes, that's my call to you guys. You're loved, you're beautiful, you're a human being, you're a soul, and God, or this godly power, or whatever you believe in, loves you, is there for you. And life is just a big lesson, and you gotta take what you can take and make something out of it, and enjoy as much as you can along the way, and be as kind as you can along the way, and then you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine.